gonna start the day off a little bit different today. We're gonna go pick up my new track that I bought for my 155 boost. So I guess it's been here for a couple days. I didn't really have any tracking information or anything. I was checking the wrong place. I was checking Canada Post and it was shipped via Purelator. So a little bit confusion going on there. We're gonna go pick it up, do a track swap quick, maybe do a couple things to the 165 as well, like air intake and finger throttle. So we'll try to get a little bit of shop work done this morning. It'll probably trickle into the afternoon, and then hopefully get out for a ride this afternoon if all goes well, but we'll see. Well, looks like the track comes in a nice little box. Should fit right in here. Oh, look at this dirty truck. Holy. Somebody needs to clean their shit out of here. Definitely isn't me. Got the track. Fits right up front. Wasn't expecting that. Neither was the guy in there. He's like, what the heck? It's in a box? All nice. Now we're gonna get this track put on. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. But we got a nice setup where I can hang it from the roof there, so we'll get her dialed in here. Pretty much this track is totally ripped in half, so we got a new one. It's still a camso, it's still a single ply track, which I really wanted to dual ply, so a composite like an M770 or M700 I think it was, but we went with the camso LX 300 or something like that. So well, I guess we'll see how it goes. We'll see if it lasts any longer than the 325. We'll see if I like it better in like the more setup snow than the 325, because those paddles, I didn't really like it in the hard snow that we had all of January. So we'll see if this one's any better than that, and we'll see if it's pretty good in deep snow too. But let's get to tearing this thing down. I'll go grab the GoPro and we'll get to work. Okay, we got a good setup here. Got our ratchet strapped up. We're gonna start by obviously dropping the skid, and then start working on taking the clutch apart and all the electric start and all that stuff. So here goes the back half. Got the whole skid dropped now. The backwards BMP braced up skid is out. I definitely need some new scratchers, as these ones won't even stay up. They just fly down if I even touch it. Oh, apparently now it wants to stay up. It's a fucking come down and hit you in the knee if you're not expecting it. But I don't know. Looks a little bit worn. That looks a little bit loose. Yep, that's loose. We'll tighten that up. That could have been a bad day. Front wheels feel good. Try to wiggle the shock side to side. Front bushings are good. Those wheels look good. Everything feels tight there. Everything feels tight there. Try to wiggle this shock. Oh. That front bushing, I wouldn't say it's worn out, but it definitely will be soon. I think I need to crank these shocks like halfway. I think I'm gonna crank the preload up on these before I put the skid back in. Ooh, that's got a lot of play in it. both do. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that or if the bearings are wearing out on them. My guess is the bearings are wearing out from landing on its side so many times. Yeah, just a quick skid inspection. Everything looks good besides the back wheels are pretty wiggly. I don't really know if I trust that much wiggle. If you come down off a whip, which the sled does a lot of them, could definitely blow one of those out pretty easy. And then the anti-stab on the front left was a little bit loose, so we'll tighten that up. But we'll go ahead and start tearing into the front, get all the electric start pulled apart, and then take my quick drive off because you need to take the front axle out, obviously, to get the new track in. So we'll do that. But first, I'm gonna lay out the new track so that it can kind of get warm in the shop here and hopefully be a little bit easier to mess around with when the time comes, since I'm gonna be doing this by myself. So first look at the new track is the paddles look a lot stiffer. As you can see, there's like a stiffer rib system on these paddles and they're super stiff, where these paddles, the ribs aren't as big and the paddles aren't as thick, which they actually feel pretty stiff, but they do bend quite a bit. But these paddles don't flex whatsoever. So I feel like they should do a little bit better in the ice. I hope just being not as long is also going to help, like that extra couple millimeters. But we got the 3.5 pitch drivers, so that's what this track is. This is a 154 though, so might fit a little bit tight, but we're gonna see how it goes. Hopefully I don't blow this one off in 1,400 kilometers. Got some of the battery torn apart here, but this is honestly such a pain in my butt. Oh, battery out. That's a lot of weight right there, holding me down. No wonder they complain about those. Oh, look at this fancy thing I found. I'm not too excited about this, but we got to take the can off to get the electric start off, or the electric start bracket out, because there's a bolt right behind here. And then I can take the top and bottom gears off, and then I can move to the other side and start taking the clutch off, but I'm not too excited about that. Now I'm kind of regretting having electric start, but it is super nice to have on the mountain to just touch the key and it fires right up, so can't complain. No. Well, we got the electric start and everything pulled out. I noticed something a little funky. Obviously, I know that I've had this the whole time, but this right here, oh, it's like melting along the edges. Like you can see, that was the inside, and that's what the outside looks like, just smooth. So yeah, that's interesting. When I put it back on, I'll probably flip it the other way, but I'm also gonna probably change my brake pads and stuff like that. I'll probably run over to Stoked right now and then pick up some pads and stuff like that. Well, I also got to do some other things in town, like I got to ship out the Backwoods Big Wheel giveaway winner his big wheels, so I'll stop at the post office and drop those off and get them shipped out to him, pick up some pads, and it's gonna be a full-on wrench day. I doubt I'm gonna have any time to get riding today because this is gonna take a lot longer than I thought. Plus, I'll just do some stuff to the other sled too, so I'll get all my wrenching out and done for the day, and then I don't have to wrench until hopefully Friday. So yeah, let's get her done. I would say it's a good thing I changed these pads, because there is nothing left of them. All it is metal. So even though that took me way longer than it should have, It's a good thing I did that. I'll have to compress those back in, let some fluid out, and then top her back up. I think my brake rotor is straight. I'll take a look. I'm gonna take it off here and look at it, because it was melting my belt, but I think it might have just been because these are getting hot. Okay, well, we're done with this side for now. We got the brake pads out, all that, both of the gears as well, so I can pull this shaft out once I get this other side. So we're gonna switch to over here. Well, got this off. Drive shaft can now come out. Definitely taking a lot longer than I expected, but I'm not a mechanic, so can't complain. We're getting her done. We'll get her in. We'll be able to ride her tomorrow, hopefully. This sled looks like it's like freaking, I don't know, got a whole bunch of miles on it, a bunch of dust in there, brake dust all over the place. That whole bunch of stuff. Well, we jacked her up a little bit more. We're trying to let the track kind of rest on itself. I kind of bunched it up. I'm trying to stick it way up in here so that it's not catching on the drivers, that I can get this drive shaft out, but it's in there quite a bit, so I think I'm gonna need a long piece of wood and that rubber mallet to punch it out, but I'm gonna watch a couple videos here and see what the easiest way to get this thing out is. Probably just gotta be stronger. That's probably what it just comes down to. For some reason, I'm fighting to take this drive shaft out, trying to hoist this track up and all these different things, when I forgot this track's junk. So now I'm gonna cut it with the Sawzall, get it out of the way, and take the drive shaft out in 2 seconds. Then I'm gonna go to town and get some parts. Just like that. 30 minutes of struggling. Sometimes you just gotta take a little phone break, play on your phone for a little bit, and then you think about stuff a little bit differently. But I am an idiot either way, so we'll go to town and then we'll start installing the new track when we get back, after we put some new brake pads in. Maybe clean my face a little bit. Nothing like a mountaintop meal, but I guess it'll do on a wrenching day. Definitely like this place. It was my go-to all summer when I'd come back from work. I would stop in and get one before grocery shopping and stuff. Quesadilla. Well, I didn't get any brake pads, but I got chocolate chip cookies instead. So we'll start throwing the track back in here. And yeah, I guess we'll go get brake pads when Stoke opens back up. I think they close during the day just because there's nobody really around most of the time. So I think we're gonna flip the sled on its side so the track can kind of hold itself, and then I'll stuff the drivers back in there and we should be, I don't know, good to go. Okay, we have the drive shaft in. Now we got to line that stuff back up, see if it fits. That was definitely the most tedious part of this whole process. Okay, we now have the new track installed. Hopefully nothing's wrong with it, or I did it wrong or something stupid. But I think I'm just gonna tension it up, and then I will then go and run and get the brake pads and start working on that. Okay, we got the new pads in there, freshies, new, not a new caliper, but make sure it's all good. I don't think it's rubbing on anything, so that's good. We will put the quick drive back on and then start reassembling the battery and all that stuff. I think I'm going to, so we're going to be doing some tuning on the 165 this week, and in order to do that you need to put a can on it. So I'm going to put the can from this sled on that sled and then put the stock can on this sled until the new GGB one comes in. It's getting shipped out right away, so we're going to kind of swap around some cans here, but shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, excited to do a little bit of a project on the other sled this week, and also keep riding this thing and do some testing. So let's get this thing back together so that we can ride it tomorrow, hopefully, and have a wicked day. Well, that was the quickest that I've ever put one of those on. I don't know if this belt's stretched out or what the hell, but that was way too easy. It might be, unless this thing's messed up, but it doesn't seem to wiggle now that that's on there. This thing was wiggling around a bit when it was on there, but it's good now. So we'll pop some bolts back in here, keep it rolling. Well, we got all the electrical stuff hooked up here, back in. I just need to put this strap back on, and then yeah, that's all good to go. Hopefully my belt doesn't melt anymore because I got some fresh pads in there again. And we're gonna put the stock can on just for a couple days until the new GGB trail can comes in. And yeah, we're gonna slap that one on the 165 and hopefully get her tuned up this week. Stay tuned for those videos. And yeah, we'll throw on a quick time lapse here, and then I should be done unless I indecisively decide to pull the other sled in and put that can on it. So we'll see what kind of mood I'm in. I might throw that sled inside here and maybe do that tomorrow night. Okay, we got the sled ready to ride tomorrow, so that's pretty good. I gotta switch over my backcountry welding link plates off the 65 so that I can ride this thing tomorrow and test it out for a day, and then I'll have to swap it back for the next day, but it's whatever. It's like a couple 10 mils and some Allen keys, so it's no big deal, but we'll go do that. But yeah, new track's on. We'll probably start it up, rotate it while I got it jacked up here, and then make sure it doesn't make any weird noises, and should be good to go.